Welcome back. Now we're giving you a Christmas crash course in making choux pastry in today's little masterclass, and we enjoyed a festive musical treat from my old pal Marty Pello at the end of the show. But first, I'm here with a Welsh lad done good. His career has taken him from the valleys of his homeland to the Hollywood Hills. It's the brilliant Luke Evans. First of all, welcome back.
Thank you very much.
Great to see you again.
I'm happy to be here.
Is it good to be? I say home. I say on home turf.
Yeah,
roughly.
it is. It's very nice. I've been away for 3 months. I've been in Portland, Oregon for 3 months shooting. So it's lovely, and it's a nice time of the year to come back to as well. I like it.
Because I know you love your food as well, really. What are you like in the kitchen this Christmas? Do you sort of take charge, or you stand back?
Well, this year I won't be doing it, but last year I did. I cooked for 10 people, did the whole thing. Wouldn't let anyone in the kitchen.
Is that it? This is that's it?
I don't mind people on this side, but I don't like them coming over to that side.
Interfering.
Yeah, I'm quite good. This setup is good for me.
Well, I'm going to do a little dish that I've got on my travels around Spain. I'm going to do roasted cod with a little picada, which we're going to take... the sauce is made out of the almonds, some bread, some garlic, that kind of stuff. But I've got some beautiful cod over here. And all we do with that is you take lashings of olive oil, some garlic, and roast it in the oven. Just nice and simple. But I've got this beautiful... Look at that.
Look at that.
Look at that. Absolutely beautiful bit of line caught cod we've got here. Roll it around, keep it nice and white, nice and fresh. Bit of salt and pepper. That gets roasted in the oven. So you say you've just come back from your travels. Yeah. You must spend your entire time at the moment travelling around. How does your diary look at it for 2025?
Yeah, it's quite busy, but you know, all I say is, if somebody can put it into a diary that I can see where I can have a break and a breather, I'm good. I'm good to go. But yeah, it's all right. I love traveling. Traveling is one of the best things I've ever done for myself, and the fact that my job makes me travel as well is brilliant. I don't just visit somewhere when I shoot a movie or a TV show. I actually live there, you know. I settle and you know, discover places. And
well, I want to talk about this because you put all this down pen to paper. This is a personal book for you, really. You can see when you just... I was talking about you off camera. Yeah. This has taken an awful lot of work. But what's amazing with this, you're quite brutal and honest about your childhood as well. You had quite a difficult childhood, not the mega parents, supportive parents, but...
Yeah, amazing.
But, you know, troublesome at school, as in bullied at school, and you were quite brutally honest with all this. Put that on a piece of paper.
Well, I think it's important, you know, that if I'm going to tell a story, it's not just, oh, this is my story, but I thought this is not an unusual thing that, you know, kids get bullied, and it really can damage people. You know, when you're kids, if you're bullied, it can stunt your confidence, your ambitions, your drive, self-confidence just gets smashed. And I thought, well, you know, it did the same to me, but I got through it. And obviously, I'm here today. And I think it's good for people to know that you know, they may see me as this actor who does action films and all that stuff, but I started as a very timid, quiet mouse who used to hide in the shadows in school because I was bullied really badly. And hopefully there's a positive message there, and if you know, people can relate to it, I think it's not a bad thing.
You mentioned travel, because throughout the book, you know, you've got some amazing pictures of you on your travels and stuff like that, and films and doing what you're doing. But can I go back to when you were a teenager? You got the opportunity, 17 years old, leaving the valleys, going to London. Yeah. You've been there before with your parents, but you'd walked out and, you know, Piccadilly and seen that. Yeah. That must be... It's totally polar opposite from where you were brought up.
I mean, I was brought up in a coal mining village. There was no bright lights. There was no hustle and bustle, and as part of its charm. But I knew as a kid I had these dreams of moving to the big city, and luckily enough, I got the opportunity to go to college in London, and you know, it was amazing. And also it was where I found my community, my tribe, my identity as a human being.
But your identity was through music as well, first of all, wasn't it? The theatre. Yes. But it wasn't until you were like late 29, I say, we're just like you're old now, but you're not old.
But it was a long time.
But in terms of that land, in terms of, were you constantly trying to get into film, or is it just suddenly...
No, I didn't. No, it was like, that was not even an idea of mine that film would even be part of my journey. No, it was so far removed. It was sort of like that nirvana of something that was just not for me. It was never going to come to me.
What was that? Because it was not achievable, or something
Yeah, just like it was so... I couldn't reach it. I just thought, how am I ever going to... That's just not going to happen for me. And also, it was just... You're in musical theatre, and unfortunately, it's very hard for musical theatre people to break out of the musical theatre world. It's not easy. And so when it happened for me, it was like I couldn't really believe that it was happening. And
that was all, you put that in, you say about it in the book, the advantage that you did musical theatre played such an important part in terms of what you do now, in terms of,
well, you know,
the musical side of it, but I presume the pressure and everything else.
The pressure, and remember, like, I just did a play for the first time in 15 years last year, and, you know, it's no joke, theatre, you know, it's like, they say, oh, you only work 3 hours a day, but from 11 a.m. in the morning, you're thinking about the energy levels you're expending because you know how much energy every night you have to do it, and then you do it 8 times a week.
Yeah.
You know, and when everybody's out having a nice dinner and in a bar, you're actually on stage entertaining the crowds, and so it's really it's an intense job, and I have a massive admiration for you know, theatre people, and I count myself as one of them, but I managed 3 months, and I just love them now.
So tell me about all the things you've done, really. The highlights must be something like, you know, mega films like The Hobbit and stuff like that. You did Fast and Furious.
Yeah.
But there's a great story in the book, and he mentioned that your parents were chatting away. Was it at a premiere? They didn't realise who they were talking to.
No, my mother was, she said, oh, we were on the way home from the premiere of the second Hobbit, and she said, I've had a lovely evening. I chatted to this lovely man, quite short, with a beard. He is Welsh heritage, and I was like, who are you talking about? She said, I don't know who he was. He just a beard, strange accent, and I'm like, Peter Jackson? And she's like, yes, that's the man. She'd been chatting to the director of The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings, and she'd got more out of Peter Jackson in 10 minutes than I had in the whole year of spending time with him.
So how did that transition? It's all in the book, but tell people how the transition went from The Lad in the Valleys, the West End. How on earth do you go from that? Because it seemed to you like Hollywood. It just came bang, 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 bang.
It did, yeah. And well, I don't know. I mean, I don't know how I managed it. I just had to
talent for one,
and probably bluffing it for the first couple of days on a film set, because I had no formal training as to how a film set works, how to act on camera. You know, you reduce the size of everything. I was used to singing to the gods, you know, like.
Yeah.
So I just spent the first couple of films just observing, watching, and trying to understand the craft of film acting as opposed to theatre acting and on stage. It's a very, very different machine.
Do you go back, because it says in the book one of your heroes is Marlon Brando. That kind of, is that what you still look at, or is you?
Yeah, I mean, it's just watching what Marlon does, but when he did it in the period of when film acting was, there was a certain way of acting when Marlon turned up as this young man.
Yeah.
But there is a naturalistic, it's just effortless realism about him. But you know, it's a very clever thing, and to watch it and observe it, I think my job. I mean, it's like we work in a creative industry. You are the same, you know, and you're always learning new recipes. You've been to Spain, you found this one, and when I work with actors or I watch certain films, I'm like, wow, that was watching how that actor perceived that moment. And I just keep adding little notes in my mind and thinking, well, I'll use that one day.
Well, hopefully you're liking this, because we've got on our lovely little clams over here, because I've nearly finished it, look. So you've got your beautiful clams that I've fit with the almonds and the breadcrumbs and the garlic and all that kind of stuff is there. We've got the roasted cod in the oven, but I think you'll like this dish. It's really, really simple.
You know what's nice?
Super delicious.
I don't have to share this with anybody either.
No, you get it all to yourself. You get it all to yourself. And then we've got our gorgeous little bit of cod. Going to lift that off there. And there we have it. You'll be sticking around for the rest of the day as well. But best to look with the book. The book is called?
It's called, Boy from the Valleys, My Unexpected Journey.
There you go. Well, there we have it. My roasted cod with clams and Spanish picada.
Look at that.
Easy as that.
Beautiful.
Done. Yay! Well, there you have it. It's one of your favourite dishes. It's a pleasure to cook for you. So you're going to stick around for the rest of the day?
Absolutely.
Dive into that.
Oh, thank you
with the
so
clams
much,
and the
James.
cod. It's very Spanish, isn't it, really?
That's beautiful. Almejas, bacalao.
Now, I'll be serving up the ultimate Christmas cheese board for Luke and the rest of my guests later on, and we've got a musical surprise in store for you from Marty Pello at the end of the show. You're enjoying that, eh? That's,
oh my God.
That's really nice, isn't it? It's particularly on a wood-fired oven. It's absolutely delicious. There you go. But join us again after the break for a masterclass in choux pastry you don't want to miss. See you in a bit. Welcome back, sadly, to the last part of the show. But I'm back in the kitchen with all my guests, of course. Richard, Lisa, Luke, Lorraine, Craig and Marty! What on earth do you do for all you lot, really? Well, you put you lot to use, and we're going to put you lot to use as well,
yes.
you to use, if that's all right. So you're on toast duty, is
toast
that right?
duty, yes.
So this is a massive cheese board. So if you're faced with this sort of thing, we're going to do cheese fondue, we're going to do smoked duck salad, we're going to do deep-fried Yorkshire cheese, we've got over here, we've got Ogleshield over there as well, and then we're going to make a mayonnaise and make a little salad with it and do a nice little fondue at the end of it. So I'm going to put you to work, if that's all right, doing the crumbs. So we've got the walnuts, the parsley, the breadcrumbs get blended, and then we're going to pane these chunks of Wensleydale. And when I'm on about chunks of Wensleydale, that is sort of a chunk.
That's a chunk.
That deep-fried is what we're going to be having, all right? So I'm going to put you to good use.
Awesome.
I want you to grate all that cheese as well, Mr. Burtonate. That would be great.
Thank you very much.
I'm going to put you to use on that. You're on toast duty, Chief.
OK.
Because we're on the best bit. This is Ogleshields, made by the Montgomery brothers. Down in Somerset, they've got a Jersey cow's head. They're usually famous for cheddar, but they've got a Jersey cow's head. This on toast will change your life.
Really?
Yeah.
We need that.
Yeah. This on toast, followed by that chicken dish that I made for you, will finish your life.
Yeah,
But it's quite a lot of butter in that one, wasn't there? But we're going to slice this all up
Just a touch.
as well. So where do we even begin to start chatting to you, Luke? Well, first of all, I'm going to start at the end. We'll start with you, Luke. You've got a new book out as well, because this book, we touched on it earlier, straight under the grill, Chief, as it is.
Nice.
That's it, straight underneath there. So we touched on it earlier. This goes right back to your childhood. You had an amazing childhood. I mentioned your parents. We didn't really have time to chat outside about it, but you used to spend your Saturdays travelling around, knocking on people's doors with your parents.
Yeah, I did, yeah. That's what a job of a Jehovah's Witness was on a Saturday morning. You'd knock people's doors when they were, you know, just waking up, having breakfast, and I hated it. I didn't like it at all. I wanted to be at home watching Going Live with the rest of the kids. But
And
yeah,
this is. I mentioned the fact that you got bullied at school. This was part of the whole.
Well, yeah, I mean, you know, if the bullies see you in school and then you're knocking on their door on a Saturday morning, it just made it all so much worse. So, yeah, it wasn't a fun time, but you know what? I mean, looking back, it was incredible that you get through those things as a kid and you're very resilient and I just always used to say, and I put it in the book, that I always used to say to myself that it's just temporary. This is just a temporary thing. These people will mean nothing to me at some point, and they didn't.
I know, and the book is great because I've read it. It's fantastic. I can hear you talking to me all the way through it. Can I just tell you how happy I am today?
Toast.
How happy I am. Look who I'm beside. This is the best Christmas ever.
Well, I didn't like to say, but you have a rider, and this was on the rider.
It was.
I love that. I've only come in if we end up like this.
Was the wine on the rider too?
Yes, yeah.
Very much so.
There's a trailer full of it outside as well.
Okay. I wonder what that was.
Yeah, exactly. It's the rains.
Fine.
Go
Just
home.
for me.
bit.
Just for me.
But look, we've gone here. This is how to do the little fondue. So we've got our cheese going in here, and then we're basically going to serve this with the potatoes. But I'm going to get onto this cheese in a minute because we can take the bread out. Okay. There you go. Because this is what you're going to love. You're going to love this. So we just gradually melt this cheese. This is ace. And I wanted to do this because this is a little homage to my childhood as well, because we're talking about Southampton, Scotland, particularly Wales. This is a little bit of homeland for me because this reminds me so much of me being at home, because you take bread and we take this chutney. This is the kind of stuff that you want on tour, isn't it, Craig? You see, when you're travelling around, this is tour food.
If you've got any extra butter you could put on there, just set the tone for me.
This is proper tour food.
This is proper tour stuff.
What's
You know what I
fascinating
mean?
is what we were talking earlier about the music business, and you used to listen to this chap over here.
Yeah.
Gives you inspiration, is it? Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
But the longevity of the music game, that's the tricky one, isn't it, really?
Well, I think it is, you know, when you've got a fan base or people who will follow you and are supportive, you know, and I've been blessed to have that, whether that's them coming to see me in musical theatre or coming to see me, you know, doing my what I call my day job.
Yeah.
You know, but they just, as you grow as a musician, as a songwriter, you want to bring them with you and challenge yourself.
But we talk about that as, you know, yours was stratospheric, a bit like yourself, your career early on. Is the pressure really on when you bring out an album like what you brought out?
Well, hopefully...
Back then, the 80s, I mean, it was just...
Oh, yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you're talking selling 500,000 before it even came out in the first week. But everything's different now because everybody accesses their music in a different way.
Yeah.
So I don't feel pressure. You make music and hopefully for yourself and hopefully other people will tap into that.
Totally.
If they enjoyed the body of work you've done over the past, whatever, 4 decades.
Because it's almost gone round circle again, because it used to be it was all about the record sales.
Yeah.
Now it's kind of touring as well, because you're about to hit the road and tour as well.
Absolutely, man. I mean, it's the feeling that the music gives you. You always remember where you were, who you were with, what you were doing.
You do.
That's why, you're talking about timeless, but we were saying earlier about 25 years since I released my first album, which feels like only yesterday. When you go out and perform those songs, that's why the tour is really... It's important for me to land those songs and sing them in the way that people want to hear them.
There you go.
Because they want to hear that note. They want to hear the ad-lib that you do on the album. And even if you want to sing loads of new things, you just know the time and place for it. But make sure you do what's on the ticket, give the people the hits, give them what they came to hear.
It's about entertaining. Entertaining, no educating. And that's the
I'm
situation.
guessing that's the ultimate for you. Cheese, toast.
Cheese.
We call this multitasking, don't we?
Well, watch up, man.
That's fine.
Just be careful and burn up your hands,
A little bit
man.
longer.
Just be
a little
careful.
A little bit longer.
Yeah, a little bit longer.
Burn up them hands.
Yeah.
Smells amazing.
But I suppose...
I'm on high alert now. High alert.
It's hilarious to see. Like. But I suppose that this is what you do it for, isn't it? Really? You're doing it. The ultimate, I suppose, pinch yourself moment must be for a musical performers to go out there and people singing along, like the O2, singing along to one of your songs. This is just amazing.
Unbelievable. I remember, like, it was only a few months back that I was doing a performance and Sting was actually doing a performance later on. He was headlining the performance. And he'd gone to the dressing room while I was performing because he thought I was gonna be there. And I got this call on the walkie-talkie as I came back off stage of Sting's waiting for you at the dressing room. And I had to say, waiting is the first word.
Waiting.
Certain people are not waiting at any dressing room. I need to run back. But when we ran back and we had this embrace, and it's just a moment when you look at someone who's been in the industry for such a long time and created such hits that have touched people's hearts, and to see the place that he's in, it just inspires me as well when I look at someone like, you know what? This is about creating those memories and making sure people always, if there's any legacy, leave that you left the place a better place than you came into it.
We've got to talk about music. Do you miss the West End, or is that's kind of the stuff that you...
I mean, I love my time there, and maybe I'll go back and do it again, but it's just the closest thing to a real job that I've ever done.
It was such a big part of your life. You know?
It was. I mean, and listen, films are even longer hours, but there's a magic to live.
Oh, I love it.
Live
Amazing
love it.
for you to go from monologue to a song. I just feel like that's an incredible skill set to be able to be saying something and then hit the note straight off the bat. Whereas with music, it's a show. Like you're already in key. You already know what you're doing. But to go from like a talking monologue to say something, and then bang straight into the notes.
It's called multitasking, Craig.
It really is.
This one.
That's a little bit butter.
What's up, burning toast?
Oh, my gosh. Oh, no.
No, that's
Is it
perfect.
okay?
Look at that. Right. Just check this out.
All of this. It's amazing.
Look at this.
Oh, my God, you put them in deep, eh?
Be careful, man. They'll be burning up them hands. I tell you.
Man, they're nuclear.
Watch your hand.
Watch your handies.
Oh, we're going to put them, boss.
On there. On there.
Oh, that looks fantastic.
So you make it look easy.
What do you mean that makes it look easy?
Asbestos fingers.
Oh, mate.
You're right there.
No, I don't. I'm not trusting myself. Here we go.
This is just like Christmas at everybody else's house, isn't it? It's the same, isn't it? Now, I was thinking about bringing this over to you, but you can come over here. So come on over here.
Absolutely.
Dive into this. Bring your license forward. There you go.
I'm ready.
Dive in,
Yum, yum,
dive in,
yum,
dive in, dive in.
Yum, 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 yum. You've done all the work.
Go for it, Lorraine. Go for it.
Amazing.
I'm going to end up here.
Go, you go.
Now, always dive in. There's plenty more cooking to come on ITV1 today. It's Ainsley Harriott here to tell us what's on the menu for him this Christmas.
Merry Christmas, James. I see you're having a fantastic time with your guests, but come and join me a little bit later. What have we got on my show? Fabulous guest and some great food. Brian Connolly's here. Catherine Ryan's here. Rosemary Schrager will be doing a little bit of cooking, and we have the most sensational voice from Carly Powley. Wow. 2 o'clock, ITV.
Cheers, Ainsley. Have a great Christmas, mate. Ainsley will be here straight after the show. That's all we've got time for today. You're enjoying that, are you?
Oh, that's so good.
Now, before we go,
went back.
just taste this. This is Marty Pello's cheese on toast.
Oh, yeah.
Lorraine.
It's so good.
Yeah, look at all the work that he did on that.
I
mean, amazing.
We're still going to be working in a minute as well, but that's all we've got time for today. A massive thank you to all my guests. Richard Burstnay, Lisa Goodwin-Allen, Craig David, Luke Evans, Lorraine Kelly, and of course, Marty Pello! Marty, you're going to be performing for us a minute, so grab yourself one final bit of cheese.
Go on,
and
Hill.
get ready to sing. There you go. There you have it. Marty Pello, everybody! Enjoy the rest of Christmas Day. I'll see you back here on Saturday, the 28th of December, when I'll be joined by Paul Ainsworth, Pip Lacey, master mixologist Merlin Griffiths, pop legend Kim Wilde will be here, and top tenor Russell Watson. Right now, with a very special performance. You can say this. Off you go. You're good at presenting.
OK. With a very special performance of Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas, it is the one and only Marty Pello.